Live. And I put the music on first, guys.
I can hear the music start.
gotta.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy rainy, cold Monday.
Doesn't matter. Joanne's back. It's a wonderful Monday.
Thank you, Josh. I need to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
so cool.
the truth.
It's so cool.
You know, we get by when you're not here. You're the glue, right?
I'm the glue. Okay.
Me
sticky.
I can't be left alone to fly all willy-nilly. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Good morning, everybody. All right. I see Linda and some other people, but I don't see their names yet. So good morning to all of you.
People, look at the people.
And Bonnie
here.
is on.
Hey, Bonnie, Marilyn, fantastic.
Cool.
So since Joanne's back, I'm going to do what I originally talked about doing. I'm going to let a few people jump on. I'm going to talk about this fabric so that it's not blocking your view.
This is really cool.
It is pretty, isn't it?
Is this Gustav Klimt again?
No, but it looks like it, right?
It does, yes.
The timing, although we pretty much sold out of the Gustav stuff, but I was like, the background looks so much like it. But we're going to do that, and then I'm going to let you do your thing, and then I'll talk about some fun stuff we got going on in the shop.
Okay.
You good with that? Good morning, Lynn. I like the exclamation points. That means you're very excited to be here.
Yes, so am I.
Hey, Maria, Janice, Louise, Mary. All right. It's a party. And once again, and that's why we're standing in a different place, it's quilt show time.
It's quilt show time.
Gosh.
You are just going to be so exposed. I couldn't think of another word.
I'm feeling so exposed. Well, that's a good thing, right?
It is.
I know what you meant by that.
In this case, it is.
Exposure is wonderful. Well, and I'll be honest with you. So we're going to Lakeland. We'll be loading the truck tomorrow and then heading to set up on Wednesday. And we're going to the original Sewing and Quilting Expo. Sewing Quilt Expo.
And that's 2 hours away?
Like 2.5, I think even.
2.5,
Yeah. But so here, I wasn't originally going to do it. We did it 2 years ago. It's an amazing show. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. Because there's different types of vendors. It's a different type of show than the local ones, the AQS and the Jacksonville.
So if you were going to go, I'm assuming they have some sort of exhibit of different quilts and whatever else they're showing.
Garments too.
I don't know my flyer. Yeah, garments. There's always a wool. I forget, Wool House, the House of Wool. So you don't see a vendor with wool at Daytona or Jacksonville. So that's just one example. It's just things that we don't see here. So, but for me, the main reason that I decided to do it again was exposure. But also AccuQuilt. They said, will you take AccuQuilt to Lakeland? And at first I said, I'm so tired. But that was like in the middle of Daytona. So I'm like, but we're the only dealer.
Are we really?
That for like miles, like hundreds of miles, that is like
doing
full on
AccuQuilt?
especially to the level that we do it. You guys know how much we love and support AccuQuilt.
Yeah.
At both locations. And so it's a no-brainer to get brand awareness out there. Let people know, hey, cutupandsew.com. Call us. We price match AccuQuilt. Doesn't matter if you're in Lakeland or Palm Coast. So, and it just, again, it's a quilt show, and I love doing quilt shows.
Oh.
And meeting new friends.
I think you like the meeting people.
I do.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of...
It's fun. Everybody's excited to be there. Everybody's happy, in a good mood, and it's just fun. It's a lot of work, but it's always worth it. So we're going to go to Lakeland, which I'm super excited about. And I know a handful of people are going to go. Just curious how many people hanging out with us right now are actually going to Lakeland. I know that at least 5 people I could think of off the top of my head that are going to go. So.
I was thinking 2.5 hours is a really long way, but that wool, when you said wool, I thought, wow.
That's what did it. The House of Wool.
The House of Wool. That would be really cool.
I think all the shops you can hit on the way.
Shop hop is happening. That's a really good point. So the All Florida Shop Hop is in full swing. What a great excuse to be like, well, we're going to go to Lakeland, knock off, I don't know, however many shops are on the way.
So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
It's only Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Friday,
we're
Saturday.
setting up on
You're
Wednesday.
setting up on.
Yeah.
Okay. Thursday, Friday, but Saturday too.
Yeah. And it starts at 10, which I was like, whoa, we could just sleep in
I
a
was
little
saying
bit.
sleep
Like,
in.
oh. But it goes till 5:30 Thursday and Friday, and I think 5 on Saturday.
Mhm.
Don't love that, but that's all right. It's a long day, but it doesn't matter. So it's a little bit later too. So again, that gives people kind of
Mhm.
an opportunity to hit up some shops. It's a really good point.
Cool. All right.
Good morning, Tammy. Peggy, you guys going to the Lakeland show? Yes or no? Or just say yes. We don't want a bunch of no's in that. She's doing thumbs up or hearts. That's right. You guys know what we're asking you: to like us,
Yeah.
to love us.
But
Honestly,
we already know you do.
absolutely. But hit the little thumbs up down below or the hearts, because that'll let other people know that something's happening in the Facebook world and the YouTube world. What, I don't want to miss this.
Yeah.
If you're watching it after the fact, it's not live. Just do #replay.
Mm-hmm. So you never have to miss out.
Ever. And the key is not letting other people miss out on the
That's
fun.
right.
And share with a friend. Anybody that you think can tolerate me and would enjoy Joanne, send them our
Or
way.
tolerate me and what a joy.
Joyful church.
Like your
Joyful
husband.
joy. That's right.
Hey, come on. In fact, when you weren't here, we were like, let's see if Joanne's hubby pops on. Then we would know if who he's really watching.
That's right.
He didn't show up, just so you know.
That you know of.
When you weren't on, he wasn't there. So.
Mhm.
All right, so let's look at this gorgeous fabric. We've had this for, I don't know, maybe a week or two, but we just haven't showcased it, I don't think. And this, if you'll stand, watch the light behind you, is the panel that is incredible. And Tony says it every time we even bring it up. What an amazing one block wonder. Thank you. They call it something else too. There's like 3 different names for the same thing. Stack and whack. Kaleidoscope, right. But I have seen the ones where they keep most of the panel there, and then they add the one block wonders or
Mhm.
the hexagons. Thank you, like to the bottom and build
Right.
on it. It's incredible, and this one would be amazing.
That would be wonderful. And it has such wonderful fabric to go with it.
Well, this piece right here, and Tony, I'm kind of flying blind, so just let me know.
And it's upside down.
Oh yeah. It is.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. There you go. That's fine. I'll hold it.
It is
Awesome.
incredible.
It's just really beautiful. I love the background of this. I mean, these things.
The gold, yeah.
I love the gold
little-
portion.
those
Well,
confetti.
and we just
Mhm.
had that. We might still have 1 or 2 of the panels. The Gustav Klimt.
Yeah.
Klimt. I can't ever say the last name, but it does have that exact sort of
Mhm.
pattern, and that gold is very
Right.
much. And this one's fun. I mean, that blue is very like primary blue,
Mhm.
primary red and blue, which is a little different. I didn't even look at this one up close. This is cool too. So we've been so busy that I haven't had a chance to even really walk around the store and enjoy some of this. Somebody's been buying this one though. Holy cow.
Yeah, that one's.
This one's getting thin.
A lot of them are. Ooh, this one's really pretty.
I like that one.
Yeah, this one is definitely that gold. But I'm glad they threw in this other color. I see you all jumping on. Good morning, everybody. We're just showing some fabric.
I have some really cool Gustav Klimt fabric at home that I keep looking at, thinking, what do I do with this?
What's the name of this line? Well, and that's a lot of people see fabric like this. Not the panel so much, because they can go, I just put a border on a panel, worst case scenario, but they see this sort of artsy, eccentric, busy fabric, and they don't know
Mhm.
what to do with it. So,
Yeah. Well, break it down
yeah.
to the basic. This is a stripe. What would you do with a stripe? You know, there and
Right.
I see. And I look at this and all I see is the pink. I only see the color.
or
Gilded Plume
gilded plume.
That's
by
perfect.
Chong Huang. I like that. So this might be a new designer. I'm not familiar
This
with
is cool. It's got swirlies on it.
Yeah,
Huang.
and you know, I think is the panel that
I love
Maria
this.
did. Was that made with this fabric?
No, it's the other one. It was
Okay.
the second.
That was the clump. Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My husband did not buy that peacock fabric. That's,
Was he supposed to?
we're surprised that he didn't. He has a gorgeous peacock jacket that Carrie made him.
Oh.
It's awesome. Carrie, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I'm assuming you're actually saying that he didn't buy it, but that's a surprise. I'm surprised that he didn't have you buy it and put it on some garment of some sort. All right, cool. I love that fabric, and we have a lot of new fabric coming in. And again, I'm going to say this because people still are going, "Are you getting some new fabric in St. Augustine?" Absolutely, it's coming. We're getting closer and closer. Remember, I ordered it We took over in November, so usually 6
Takes
months ish.
a while.
Yeah. So it's absolutely coming. We've got new stuff in. It's just when you walk in, if you haven't been there in a while, it's going to look like it's all new, just because we
So
rearranged.
tell me, is there more Tilda coming in, or is that?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I just have to learn how to order Tilda, like timing and everything. I don't want to just order old Tilda,
Right.
old stuff, and you have to get it from brewer, so because it's exclusive. So I've got to figure out, Farron, if you watch this, reminder, I need your help. The timing on it, because I don't know when they release it, and it's not like you have a rep that. I love the reps. Some shop owners complain about this. I actually love it because they hound me and go, "There's new stuff. There's new stuff. Meet me." But they let me know that it's coming. With Tilda, I don't really know. So. Yeah, but I don't get anything about Tilda yet. So anyway, we're learning, and new fabric is coming, and the peacock was just a taste. Something I want to throw out. This is something that is an exclusive for the All Florida Shop Hop. Now it's double the size, so it's much larger, and it's a floor canvas quilt. Is that what they called it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the idea is it's canvas, and you get the laser cut out the state Florida pattern. It's an applique, but whatever that is made out of, I don't know. And then the heart, so you can place it on wherever either you live or whatever shop you want. But it's a really big piece of fabric. You don't want just the state with the heart. So
yeah, so it's double this size. So Tony, if you were putting this together as a floor mat, what else would you put with it? What would you put underneath it? Would you put a batting in it?
It comes with that.
So it actually comes with it. Yeah. So it's basically a kit. But where I was going is I don't want just this huge floor mat with just the state and a heart. So my question to you is, what would you guys put on it? The obvious answer is like cut up and sew, live to create, which I think would be great, but just something to think about. I think it's really cool. You can only get it during the shop hop. It was an exclusive thing. I had never heard of people doing these floor mat. I don't think I would put it on the floor. I have a 6-year-old. It would get dirty, so I would probably hang it up.
Yeah, but I have seen them as floor mats, and they're really kind of cool.
You can make it as a tote bag.
A tote bag, that would be cool. Yeah,
Back of a jacket. You put it on the back of a jacket.
You could do anything with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so my question to you is, if you guys have any suggestions of what we should put on the shop sample, put them in the comments, shoot it our way. Because you guys are always creative. I'm always looking for something fun to do. But the obvious answer is cut up and sew. Anyway, they're fun. And we have 2 different colorways at both locations. And I don't know how many are left, but we only ordered a few. So just FYI, if that's something that you think would be fun, give us a call or go to cutupandsew.com and grab one ASAP. Because it's going to be gone.
And is this material the same as this?
That's what I think so. It is. It's a thicker thing. That's why I was trying to decide what to call that. So,
okay.
Lynn, going to try to make Lakeland. However, that means driving on I-4. I'd rather drive Manhattan
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty funny.
or London at rush hour.
I hear you.
Wow.
Hey, I'm doing it in a U-Haul. All right, you can get there, Lynn. It's worth it. It'll be worth it, I should say. But you're right. I-4 is the worst.
Yeah, there's some places over there towns that I really like and I'd love to live in, but they expose you to 4. You have to spend a lot of time on 4.
Florida highways are just
stay right
insane. Do I talk about these first, or do you want to jump to that? You want to get these out of the way? So again, just some new things that are coming in. These are really cute. So Timeless Treasure and Dime did this little combination. Good morning, Nancy. But look at this. And I'm a sucker for good marketing. Oh, is that not great? So it's a dozen fat quarters. And of course, with the pastels.
It's called chicken scratch. So it's got little chicken feet on the fabrics.
Oh, they do? I didn't even notice that. Look at that.
Oh, how cute.
That is cute.
And they're eggs.
And then this came in. It's like they planned it at the same exact time.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Is that thread?
With the
to go
dime.
with
Yeah,
all
it's a
this?
spring.
Fun.
It's a spring collection. So they chose the colors that are perfect for spring and Easter and all that other stuff. And they just threw it right in there in a little kit. So we just got a few of these in. I think we have, I don't know, 6 at each location ish. But I will tell you, we're going to take some of these to Lakeland. So if this is something that you just can't live without, call us now or go to the website, because I don't want you to miss out, because we're going to take it to Lakeland. But we'd love it if our regulars, our local friends, have the first shot at getting it.
Make such a cute little Easter quilt.
They would.
Chickens or eggs.
And then the only thing I'm going to say about these is I love that we've started doing this notion of the week, but we're letting the staff pick. So we've got 2 new notions. So every week we're going to do 2 notions of the week. And these notions are going to be on sale 20% off at both locations.
And on the website.
And on the website. We're going to do that. That's right.
I already did it.
You already did it?
Done.
Of course you did.
She's so good.
Maria, our very own Maria, picks out, and
this.
she does love these.
She loves these.
The seam ripper. I mean, this is one of those things. It is a special seam ripper. That's right. But this is one of those things. Everybody has to have a seam ripper.
Yeah.
You just have. It's.
And you need more than one.
That's a good point. So, but Maria loves these, and it's for a few different reasons. If I'm trying to remember correctly, she likes that it has this rubber top that essentially you can kind of use it to
you brush it
to brush it
the
off,
threads off,
to get the threads. So comes in 3 colorways, 20% off. Maria, fantastic choice. This is a must-have.
And I really like these because when these first came out, they were shorter and thinner, and now they have a little bit more. They're bigger. They're a little bit bigger here, and they're longer, so it makes it easier to use. I like these, and if you're thinking about buying one, and you're thinking, well, what's so special about it? Come ask Maria, because she does a beautiful demonstration of these.
It's a serious seam ripper.
That's right.
You don't want that little dinky one.
No.
Oh, it fell out of my hand.
A good seam ripper will make you not hate seam ripping quite so much. So
that's true. I'm gonna let you help me since I don't have 4 hands.
All right.
Thank you, Eve, for choosing this one, because honestly, this is one that I was gonna grab, but she beat me to it. The Karen K. Buckley scissors.
Put them in order.
Her crisscrossing my arms.
Just remember, there's differences.
So there are. So Karen K. Buckley scissors, they're all amazing. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I use them because the only type of really quilting I do is like art quilting. So collage quilting, cutting out really small pieces. They're incredible. The grip is fantastic on them, but you have to be careful. So there's a serrated edge on some, and then there's knife edge. So make sure that you pick the one that you want.
Yeah. So what you're looking at here is there's three serrated edge. Now with the serrated edge, it's only serrated on one side. So if you feel like after years of using them, it's getting a little dull, you can still sharpen one side, and then you just clean the other side. Usually what happens is lint or whatever gets kind of stuck in the serrations. So you clean the other side and sharpen the one that's a knife edge, and that way you have a brand new scissors again. They're my favorite scissors. There's no doubt.
And it'll say it on the packaging, serrated edge or not. So just make sure you look. I like the serrated edge, but obviously some people may prefer the knife edge for certain projects. So just make sure you look at that. But they're all amazing. They're super sharp. And Maria even chimed in. These are also very sharp, which is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't use those $1 cheap, not very sharp seam rippers. Once again, it'll make you hate seam ripping.
Well,
so the only one of the scissors that we have that's a knife edge is this orange one, and
that we have right here. Yeah, so we might have, and we've got them in both locations.
Okay.
And if we don't have the one you want, we can order it, and we'll still give you the 20% off this week.
And the knife edge does come in this size and in this size. They just have different color handles. So if you decide you want them all, you'll be able to tell the difference.
Have the rainbow.
I mean, that's the best way to do it. I mean, yeah, we swear by them all the time. And anytime I've done a guild presentation, maybe even you, people go, why the Karen K? And truthfully, they just work the best.
They work.
It's the handles, it's the sharpness.
So the reason
it's the
why
they're
is yes,
incredible.
The handles are comfortable. So if you're doing a lot of cutting, it's very comfortable to hold them. They cut all the way to the point. So if you're not stopping like a quarter of an inch away because the scissors only cut that far. And that, those are the two main things that are just really special about them. And they're kind of the perfect weight. They're not too heavy and they're not too light.
They're just
Yes,
we could
right.
spend an hour talking about these scissors, so we will move on. But these are fantastic choice, Eve and Maria. 20% off, Notion of the Week, both locations and on the website. Awesome.
So is there a foot of the month?
So you know what? Actually, it's 20% off of all the feet.
Really?
Yeah, for this month, it's 20% off. But here's the thing. We don't just sell Bernina. So guess what we did? In Cut Up and Sew fashion, we twisted it. So we basically just said all brands, Janome, Baby Lock, and Bernina, all feet accessories, 20% off this month.
Wow. Okay.
You can't beat it. We just had someone buy an extension table, and we ordered it through Bernina so that we could get the 20% off. Loophole. So just
Wow.
saying. Get creative. If there's something that you've been wanting, an accessory, a guide, anything. Walking feet, right, absolutely.
Just another reason why this shop is the best.
Hey, I love it. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a little bit, and I'm going to let you
Okay. Well,
hopefully teach us something. Well, every time you talk, I learn something. So,
so
No pressure.
Today, what I'm talking about is how many of you like to every now and then do a block there where your corners are snowballed like this? So snowballed corners where you've taken a regular square of whatever size you want. I'm sorry, this one is prepared. A regular square, and you you triangle the corners so that it makes more of a circle, sort of, or a hexagon or something. But that's called snowballing the corner. And there's two ways you can do it that I know of. There's probably more, but the most common and that's been around forever is you take a square of fabric and you put it in the corners. You can draw a line from corner to corner here, and you sew right on the line. And once you've sewn on the line, you cut 1/4 inch away. And so here it is laying on the fabric. Here it is sewn on. You cut 1/4 inch away and press it out, and you have a nice little corner. Now that's the old-fashioned way, and it's efficient. One of the cool things about it, especially if you're doing a size block like this or a little bit bigger, when you cut that off, you're cutting off 2 pieces of fabric like this, and you're going to have another half square triangle. And that gives you kind of like a little bonus half square triangle. There you go. There it is. So that's kind of a cool way of doing it. And that's the traditional way of doing it. Now, one of the things that you can do is there is now what's called a folded corner clipper, and that's this right here. And it's a little ruler. It comes in 2 sizes. I have them both right here. And we actually carry these here. So just so you know. So like when you're making a block like this and you have a ton of these little triangles, or you want to make a bunch of snowball blocks, you can use this instead. And what you do, so here is one of the blocks like this, where it needs to be snowballed right here in these 2 corners. So what you do is you take your ruler.
It got wet from the rain.
I know.
It
It was wet outside when I got here. It's downpouring, and there's a chair in the place right in front of the shop.
I would have moved the chair for you, by the way. It's to ward off all those pesky gym rats.
That's right, and I knew that, but I still had to park like a half a mile away. But that's okay. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose your size.
Can I hold this up for you? Would that be?
Yes, you can.
Would that be?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to choose your size. So like I want to put a 2.5 inch triangle right there. So I go to the 2.5 inch line on the ruler, which would be right there. And I'm going to put that line. The line kind of goes across and angles up. So I want that angle up portion to be right on the edge of my fabric, right there. And then the flat side goes right at the top. Okay. So what's going to happen now is it's going to cut. When it cuts, it's going to cut 1/4 inch away from where I want it to be, which is what I need, because I need that seam allowance. And that way I have a perfect place to put my triangle. And, I tend to make things bigger than they need to be. So I just lay my triangle right here, which I've cut. I tend to cut maybe a half an inch larger or a quarter of an inch larger than what I actually need, so I can trim it down. But you just place this here, you flip it over, and you have the perfect corner for you. Now, the reason why you might want to use it, it really doesn't take any less time to do this. It's not any more efficient than doing it the old-fashioned way. But the one reason why you do this is to conserve your fabric. So you don't have any leftover fabric with it. You're using all of your fabric to make this. So, and in order to make the squares, let's say you wanted to have 2.5-inch squares, I would usually cut a 3-inch square and let's see, cut a 3-inch square, cut it down the middle from corner to corner, so I get 2 triangles from it, and then I just have a stack of that so that I can sew it onto the corners of my block, whatever it may be. So
That's a cool little ruler.
it is a cool ruler. So recently I taught this block, and I gave everybody the option of doing it one way or the other. And what they found was that when they use this ruler, every single one of these triangles came out perfect. You never had to worry about, is it going to be am I going to be sewing too close or too far away from the piece before it? So every single triangle came out perfect. It does come in 2 sizes. So if you want to use a bigger size, it has this size.
We have the creative grid one. That's not the one.
Yeah, we have the creative grid one. Yeah.
Yes, we do. And the difference between what happened was that this was originally designed by prairiequilting.com, and Creative Grids bought this design from them. The only thing they added was the traditional Creative Grids little dots, so that the fabric, the ruler doesn't slip on your fabric. And so it's the very same thing, just with Creative Grids on it. And I just happen to have an old one.
But before I see your question, I like how you were like, and we carry these because like I need to be told this, because I'm like, oh, that's it. We should order some of these. This is great.
We got your ruler.
Yeah.
Leah asks, do you run into issues with stitching along the bias when you
Stitching on the bias.
If you're concerned about that, I don't, because it tends to be fairly small. But if you're concerned about that, you can always spray start your fabric first before you start cutting it up, and that will take away the issue with that little bit of bias right there. It doesn't usually cause a problem. And the nice thing is it keeps your straight of grain on the outside, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. This is a cool block.
It was a cool quilt.
They turned out really cool.
Yeah, I've seen several.
Fantastic.
So that's what I have to say.
You learn.
That's what I have for today.
I love it. You have a couple of, so if anybody's watching this, or if anybody knows of someone who, they want to go ahead and start taking that dive into quilting, but they're not sure where to start. This class that you guys have coming up would be perfect, would it not?
Yes, it is. And we Tony and I realized we had some free time, and I had free time. Sorry. The shop had free time in my time slot in St. Augustine. So what we decided to do was do a Quilting 101. It'll be a 3-week class, and it's going to teach you, if you're just starting out, or even if you've started a little bit and you've realized that, you need to know the basics. And it's a great place to start. We're going to do a Quilting 101 in March, and that will start next Friday. So you have to make a decision. I'm sorry, this Friday. The next Friday. One coming up, and it's going to start this coming Friday. It'll go for 3 weeks, and then in May we're going to do a Quilting 102, which will base on the 101 that we're going to do and kind of take you a little bit farther.
Fantastic.
Pop-up class.
Pop-up class. I like that.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So we got to get the word out then I'm glad I even mentioned that. So,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm glad you did too.
even if you, if you say, I used to quilt, but it's been 9 years. I hear that number all the time for some reason, and I want to get back into it. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, and if you haven't been quilting for a while, there's so many new techniques and things to think about. It's just it's always great to kind of step back in and learn what's new in quilting and what's going to make it easier for you and more fun. And if nothing else, the fabric's more fun.
I also think it'd be good for someone who, why are my seams not accurate?
Why are my
my
seams not accurate? I need help
Exactly.
with.
Things aren't.
Why are my corners not? Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's always a problem if you're self-taught. A lot of that, you miss a lot of those things that teach you how to help you to have a straight seam or help you to have make sure that your edges aren't wavy or any of the little irritations you run into. It kind of takes care of those things.
Awesome.
It's on the class for Fridays.
It's on the class for it's
Friday.
starting. It's the St. Augustine
Mm-hmm.
It's on
classroom calendar. Cutupandsew.com, St. Augustine calendar. This Friday is the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, and
So
call us if
sign
you have
up.
questions. But sign up and tell your friends. Anybody who you think would really enjoy getting some education from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Speaking of classes, today is Monday. It's rainy, but you know what? It's all right. You'll dry off. You won't melt. Sewing studio in both locations. In Palm Coast, I don't even need to talk about it anymore because it's always full. We love it. It's great. St. Augustine, what's going on? And so again, I'm going to just extend this sort of question to you guys. Is it the wrong day? Is that what's going on? If it is, what day of the week would you all like to have a sewing studio? Which is sewing studio, you just come in, work on whatever project it is you're in the process of. It's a good way to meet new friends,
Mm-hmm.
but we're there to help you if you have questions, and it's just build a community. So we need help figuring out how to grow that in St. Augustine because Mondays ain't cutting it.
That's right.
And I know it takes some time. So if Mondays are the best day, but it's just not the right time, and who knows, maybe next month it takes off. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured we should ask you guys. So Jacksonville folks, St. Augustine folks, let us know. All right, to the sticky note. Bianni announcement. You know we love Bianni because we talk about it all the time. In fact, we have a Bianni class that still has 4 spots this week. I think I wrote it down. Yep, the 13th and the 14th, the payday class with Christy. And that's St. Augustine or here? It's in Palm Coast? Okay, in Palm Coast. So last minute opportunity there. Fantastic. And not only Christy, obviously, is our bag guru, but we all love Bianni. We support it. And we have really been involved with this contest, your local favorite quilt shop contest. And I think we got a chance. You guys have literally, and we've been asking, please send in heartfelt, sincere comments. And I've been able to read some of them. And I don't even care if we lose. It means so much to us. And they're so kind and so sweet. So, but because I read them, I'm like, man, there's no way somebody else's
Nobody else's
customers are going to say, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. But I tell you. So where I'm going with this is on the 12th, Wednesday at 4 p.m. our time, because it's 2 o'clock Mountain time. That's so confusing.
It's so confusing.
I know.
4 p.m.
Wednesday the 12th, this Wednesday the 12th, will be hopefully finished setting up, but it will be at Lakeland. But they will have the live Bianni announcement. And so I think it'd be really fun if everybody kind of tunes in. We're trying to figure out how to have a watch party on the Facebook group. So stay tuned to that. But if for some reason that doesn't work because we can't figure it out, then I encourage you to tune in at 4 o'clock Eastern time this Wednesday.
Okay.
Just to see.
Facebook page.
It's on Bianni's Facebook page. Yeah. And
Oh.
they put, I mean, it's an amazing organization, but they do it on YouTube just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They do YouTube and Instagram and everything. So, but I don't know. I think we got a shot. I'm excited.
It could happen.
It could happen. So anyway, it'll be
All
fun.
because of you.
I wish we could, all because of you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could actually, I would kind of wish we were here so we could invite everybody here. But then it's one of those things. What if you invite everybody here and then you don't win? And you're like, well, that was awkward.
We know how to party too.
We do not a party. That's right.
That's right. It could be a morning party.
There you go. A morning party. That's right. Everybody wore black. Okay. Quilt Appraiser is here on the 15th. That's this Saturday, right? Yeah.
Really?
And again, bummer that we're going to not be here for that, because I think this is cool. This is something unique we've never had. We met Karen. She approached us at the Daytona show, and she's a experienced quilt appraiser, and she's been doing it for years. And we said, well, yeah, come. I don't know if anybody would be interested. Apparently they are, because we have quite a few signups. Please register. Do they call, or is that on the website?
No, they have to call.
They do have to call. That's what I thought. Because you're not paying us anything, but you do need to hold your spot, because Karen will only be here from 11 to 2-ish.
And she's already booked from like 1 to 2.
And she's booked from 1 to 2 at least. Yeah. So
is this mainly for, like if you have grandma's quilt that she made like 55 years ago and you want that appraised, or is it for things that you've made and you'd like to know how much they...
It's for vintage.
Probably more for vintage, but I don't see why you can't. I mean, so she can tell you, I keep calling it the Antiques Roadshow. You found something it's an heirloom, it's been passed down, and you want to know how old is it? That sort of thing. Is it worth anything? I think more than anything, the dates
that would be
versus value. I don't think anybody's trying to sell, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just think it's cool. A, that somebody has that knowledge, and B, that they were in town and said, I'd like to come to your shop and do that.
That's right.
Oh, it's too cool. So have Tony send out a text message as a reminder about tuning in for announcement. Send out a group text if you win.
More people, we haven't done the texting yet.
We haven't done the texting yet. We've had some back end stuff that we're changing up, so the texts are a little bit on pause, little timeout, because we want to do it better. We want to do it right. And anyway, yes, but trust me, you guys will know if we win. You will know one way or the other, and there's a good chance that we'll be able to go live at some portion, even though it's from Lakeland. So don't worry, we'll get the word out to you. If we can actually figure out the watch party, then yeah, we'll send out reminders or something. So good morning, beautiful mom. She said, good morning, beautiful people. She wasn't just talking to me, by the way. Okay, so Quilt Appraiser, the 15th from 11 to 2. How fun. Dress a Girl, and I didn't write down the date.
22nd.
Thank you. The 22nd, which is our next Sewing for Charity party here in Palm Coast this month. And Dress a Girl is obviously near and dear to us. We've been doing it since pretty much the beginning. What's cool is Dana does bring kits. So for this one, all you have to do is come in, bring a small machine that, because we cram in, and just a good attitude, because we just sew for some good, and you guys are always amazing, and the dresses are so stinking cute.
They really are. I've seen a couple of them, and I thought, oh my goodness.
I know. I love when we put them on the wall. It's just so cool. Yeah. So you guys are always amazing. So again, the next Sewing for Charity party is in Palm Coast, Dress a Girl. Next month, it would be in St. Augustine, and that's Ryan's Case for Smiles. Okay, what is the name of the block you showed?
We've had several people
That's a question for you.
About your block.
So do you want to grab the block and we'll hold it up again and then give them the name?
It doesn't have a name because this is my pattern.
Ooh.
So I've never named it. I think Tony named it Starry Log Cabin.
We got to give it a name. It's the lamb.
It's a lamb block.
The lamb block.
Maybe I need to put a little lamb
there you go.
over there.
So Karen, I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, Joanne created this, so it doesn't have an actual name as of yet.
Yeah, and
take a screenshot.
Take a screenshot. No. And then crop me out.
So basically, what it is a star in the center, and the star is 4.5 inches.
Tiny star.
Tiny star.
Oh, a tiny star is 2.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And then you form your log cabin as you normally would, one row at a time. And when you finish each row, you put a triangle. You use that little tool, put a triangle in the corners where the two different fabrics meet. And then you trim that all up so that you have, you trim this to each bar to 1 1/8 inch. And that's the pattern.
Leah said half pineapple with center star.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. That's awesome. Morning, Sherry. We were just talking about Ryan's case, and I got pillowcases here for you. Okay, fantastic. So that answered all the questions. I don't think I saw any other question. Did we miss anything, Tony?
No.
Okay. Dress a Girls, the next Sewing for Charity party. Then I'm going to jump ahead just because this is a big one and it's important. And so we're going to shove it down your throats because it's an awesome opportunity. Bernina is sending in their heavy hitters to come and give us some education on free motion. This is a big deal, which is really, really cool. So it is what's the name the Quilt Lab presents Long Arm Playtime with Bernina. I've been saying that wrong every time. Thank goodness we found the flyer. But it's a focus on free motion. And people think when they see the word long arm, they don't think sit down long arm. They don't think the new hoop frame, which I'm going to tell you about in just a sec. They think 12 feet.
Right.
I can't fit it in my room and I don't want to spend 30 grand. Get that sort of mindset out. We have here in the store a 20-inch Q20. It's a sit-down long arm that takes up less space than a Solaris. So for people who want to do their own quilting, sit-down long arming especially, this is perfect for you. Also, Bernina created, it's a better picture. I guess it's the same picture without a glare though. Am I holding it right?
It looks great.
Okay. So this is the Bernina hoop frame. I think it's 5 feet. But here's what's amazing about this. You can put on the frame a Q16, which that is a Bernina long arm, right? No automation. So you're the driver. You're driving it. But you could also put a domestic sewing machine on it, which means if you have a 7 Series Bernina,
Something with a big
enough throat. So people, or if I say, what was that called? The cutie frame, right? That's been around for forever. And everybody, that's what they go to. It's very inexpensive. I think it's even a tabletop. It's pretty cool. Honestly, it allowed people to quilt their own lap quilts and things like that. But there's room for improvement. And so Bernina stepped it way up. So you got to think 5 feet. I mean, it's not much bigger than this Martelli table. It's not a huge frame. But the beauty of it is you don't have to purchase a long arm if you don't need to. If you want to put your domestic machine on it, that's the opportunity. And it's just a separate carriage. So some people like the idea of moving the sewing machine to free motion. I like moving the fabric, which is strange because I have a drawing background, a painting background. So moving the pencil or the machine, you would think would be easier for me. For whatever reason, my brain, I was able to just kind of flip-flop it. And now I'm much more comfortable moving the fabric versus the... Also, I can sit down at any machine and free motion versus I don't have to have a giant long arm. So
any idea what your sewing space here is?
Unfortunately, we ordered one. I don't have it in stock yet. I will know so much more very, very soon. By the way, it's on the interweb. You can go and look at it and find the details. Absolutely. I mean, I'm just excited. It's Bernina, so it's sturdy. That's a big deal. So when you're sitting there moving it around, you don't want that thing wobbling. It needs to be. And they're calling it the hoop frame because it's almost like an embroidery hoop frame. You're not having to pin it and move it. It looks to me like it just clamps off and then you would simply slide, just like if you were quilting in the hoop, but on a much larger scale. Right. So, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I have questions, but that's because
I will have answers, but I just don't know if I have them yet.
So next time.
Yeah. And we will have one of these soon. So we'll be able to touch it, feel it, play with it. And but this event is such an opportunity. It's only $50, but it's all inclusive. We're giving you lunch. We've got giveaways. And again, Bernina Education. So Bernina Educator is flying in to spend 2 days with us. And it's 2 opportunities. So don't take both days. Don't sign up for both days because it's the same thing. And we want more people to have the opportunity. I cannot wait for this. And I highly encourage you, if you're just curious, if you think you would really fall in love with free motion, take it.
So is this limited to people who have Bernina?
No.
It's for...
Absolutely not. Free arm. It's a Bernina hosted event. We're sending there, it's a Bernina educator. We're going to be playing. It is 100% hands-on. We're providing the machine. So you will be playing on Bernina machines. But I said it a little while ago, I can sit down at any sewing machine If the feed dogs can lower and I can free motion,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be a Bernina, doesn't have to be a Baby Lock or Janome. I have my favorites,
Mm-hmm.
and the Q20 sit down.
Is
Good luck beating it.
uh-huh.
That's all I'm going to say. But again, free motion is the name of this game, and then we're doing it on the long arms. But again, it's not going to be an automation. It's more about the education, the experience, and of course, we're going to have specials and deals and bundles and all sorts of fun stuff.
And what's the date on that?
Probably should have said that, huh? April 3rd and 4th? Yeah, April 3rd or 4th.
My
So
birthday could be my birthday present.
Or Friday.
Thursday or Friday. And this is in back up. This is in St. Augustine. Very limited space. I think we only have 10 spots for both days because I want you to have that one-on-one education. I want you to have the time on the machines. I want you to get that good free motion experience. So I know Janice signed up. Smart Janice, by the way. Okay, I didn't miss anybody else.
No.
Fantastic. What's on the 5th?
The surger, sip and surge.
Sip and surge. It was like, I want you to spend 3 days with us, or at least 2 days. So, and it's not even on my notes, but we're doing something fun.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this yet?
No.
You've been out.
I've been out.
So on the 5th, Baby Lock put together a virtual event, a virtual live presentation lecture demo on surgers. And so they wanted shops to sign up and host a party where you can do like a sip and surge is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, ooh, tea party. So we're doing.
No way.
See,
I can't be there.
Why?
Because I'm going to California to visit my granddaughter.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Ugh, grandkids.
You'll love them
That's
when you
awesome.
get them.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But bummer, yeah. So we're having a tea party, the official Sip and Surge, Baby Lock Sip and Surge virtual event. But we're gonna turn it into an in-person. We're gonna have surgers set up, so we're gonna be able to kind of tweak it our own and let you have some hands-on time and play time and get some questions answered. And then we're gonna all tune in on the TV and watch Baby Lock's presentation. And
But it's a tea party.
but it's a tea party, so you better come with. I don't know much about tea parties, but fancy gloves.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Nice
I'll wear a
hat.
bow tie, a hat. We will definitely have some sort of dress up competition contest.
Little treats, tea treats.
That's
Tea
right. It'll be
treats.
very fun.
And
And I'll
again-
tell you, if you're looking for a hat and you can't find one, there's a little antique store in Palatka that has a whole bunch of hats that are perfect for a tea party.
There you go.
Good for you.
Or you simply could have. Well, I don't think
You
we're
could
offering it
always make
again.
one.
Well, I was going to say Karen's done like 3 fascinator hat
that's
things, so
right,
I think
that's right.
that seems tea party-ish for
Mhm.
me. All right. Anyway, so that's going to be a ton of fun. So that's on the 5th, and yeah, so almost back to back, and that's in Palm Coast. We got a lot going on. It's going to be fun as always.
It's hard to go away. I miss out when I'm not here.
It's because I'm not talking to you. So everything on my list is gone except for the code word.
Okay, what's the code word?
Lakeland. So anytime you come into our stores and you pay with cash, you get your name on a little ticket, goes into a cash pig or a cash cow for a drawing, and we give away a gift card. And if you say the code word, you get 2 tickets. So this week, the code word is Lakeland. How fitting.
How fitting.
My tea time is with PJs and a sewing machine.
You can come in
There you
here.
go. Come on in the PJs, Leah.
Yeah, you might not win the dress up prize, but
Depends. We haven't
She
seen
can
her
make
PJs.
something, though. She makes good food.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to bring Tamara in on this because she is a tea party host
The expert.
extraordinaire. So we're going to have some fun. And I hope to see you guys in Lakeland. I get it. It's a little bit of a trip. If we don't see you there, just FYI, we're taking AccuQuilt and June Taylor, and we will have specials, and we will honor those specials here in the shop as well. So if you don't want to make the trip, but I'll just tell you, you're going to have to call because we have nothing. When we go to the quilt shows, we take everything.
Mhm.
So if you come into the store, most likely whatever you want is not there. You will have to place the order over the phone, in person, or wait till we get back next week. So did I miss anything, Tony?
No.
Covered everything. It feels like a lot.
And then some. Yeah.
And then some. Fantastic. Well, thank you for this awesome education. As always, it's wonderful to have you back.
Well, thank you. It was fun.
Yeah,
Glad to be
It
here.
was fun. We will see you guys very, very soon. As always, live to create.
So I read this article that said that the most creative time in your life is when you're about kindergarten age. So release your inner kindergartner and be creative.
I love that. I'm a child, so that's easy for me.
That's right.
Wonderful.
Be like Josh.
Have an awesome week, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.